Good. Yeah, we start. And in this week, we are talking about the formulating strategy in order to apply the differentiation strategy. So we learned about, okay, so in order to exercise the differentiation strategy, we'd better to create and sustain the differentiated user experience. And we call that as a focus or the differentiation or the uniqueness strategy in order to focus on the value creation. And then in order to differentiate our product or services from our competitors, we usually exercise at the prestigious or the brand image, or higher brand image. And advanced technology and innovation or little or no substitute. And the cool feature or the best customer service. These are the techniques in order to deliver our differentiated user experience. Good. And differentiation advantage or the differentiated user experience strategy, competitive advantage, can be formulated by the incumbent or the old-fashioned or the more stereotypical the business strategy tools like a value creation or the value chain or the value curve or the 5 forces and the balance scorecard, the BSC, no matter what. Okay, even though we have tons of different business strategy tools, we can apply these kind of tools in order to create the differentiated user experiences. That's a competitive advantage. We learned about we can use this kind of the business strategy tools in order to make a cost advantage. Tool is tool. You can use tools for any purpose. Tool is tool. So don't be afraid of using any kinds of tools. However, please clarify, what are you creating? What are you formulating? Cost leadership or differentiated user experience? Okay? Clarify your goal first, then tool will be serving you. Tool is tool. Okay? So then, for example, here is an example of the what if we can use that value chain tool in order to create the differentiated user experience competitive advantage. Okay, from the primary functions, the highest standard of the quality control in production. Bent, building the specialized inbound logistics, like Bosch. And then the supportive functions and the focusing on the R&D capability. And then supporting function, building a loyal customer pool. Absolutely. This tool can give us how to apply and how to formulate the differentiated user experience competitive advantage. Tool is tool. You can use what kinds of tools? Any kinds of tools. And 5 forces, increase the brand loyalty to avoid the rivalry. You can use that. Balance scorecard, financially, the margin, then the volume policy. Okay, so yeah, relatively smaller margin, but however, we want to maximize the margin. Customer, differentiated dealership, and internally, quality-oriented production line, then quantity. Okay, and then please keep in mind of this. Quality versus quantity. And now I am thinking that the China need to make a choice. Absolutely, this is a tipping point. This is a tipping point of the Chinese industry and the Chinese society. And that kinds of the tipping point, the Japan and the Korea, we already passed. We already made our choices. And then, yeah, the tipping point is, the China need to focus on the quality or quantity. And so far, China focused on the producing more quantity over quality. The more, the better. So far. However, now from now on, the game is totally changing. From now on, you need to change the paradigm. You need to change up the paradigm, business paradigm from quality over quantity. It's the paradigm change. It's tough. It's really tough. It's really tough. Okay. Do I have the picture of something? No, not in here. Okay. So yeah, maybe you remember from here to here, China started around here. And around 20 years ago, when the China started, China comes to the global economy, and you started with providing the best cost leadership. The cheaper, the better. Okay, you started in here. And however, nowadays, you are passing here. You are passing here. You are passing here. You are almost in here. And I wish you can pass quickly and you can achieve to here. This is quality. This is quantity. This is quantity to quality. So I am suggesting you think about it. Okay. So the China need to change the paradigm of the business from quantity to quality. Okay. That's a big trend. And personally, I experienced that around 20 years ago in Korea. And Japan experienced that kinds of things around 40 years ago. And we made a choice from quantity to quality. We invest a lot of money, we invest a lot of people in order to achieve that kinds of the focus toward the differentiated quality control system. And China need to do that. And you need to read that. You need to exercise that. Okay, whatever, we will keep talking about that. So, okay, so no matter what kinds of tools you have, please focus on what is your purpose. Okay, customer, internal quality oriented production line, and aligning with the best quality policy. Whatever, okay. Good. And so far, we learned about the cost leadership strategy, competitive advantage. Okay, and we talk about the competitive advantage of the differentiated user experience. Then from now on, we need to talk about how to combine them, how to formulate the best strategy to combine, to maximize the competitive advantage. Okay, so then, we can talk about how we can combine these two strategies at the same time. We need to integrate that. We need to combine that, and then we need to integrate that in order to maximize our competitive advantage, in order to win without fighting. Okay, good. And so far so good. That's what we have learned. And then we need to go to the further strategy. So far so good. Can we go forward? Hello. Well, 15 students we have. Stephanie, hi. Say hello, so maybe, Winnie? Ellen? No? Okay, good. Thank you, Olivia. We go forward. We go forward. Okay, there are a lot of the discussions about how we can combine these two competitive advantages at the same time. And then, we find out a few number of the factors we can integrate, we can use. And the first one is absolutely the technology. Technology can enable, technology help us to maximize the benefit of these two competitive advantages at the same time. Okay, so mass customization. Have you ever heard about a mass customization? Mass production plus customization. Mass production is to reduce the cost. You know, the bigger, the better. The more, the better. Cost leadership. However, we need to be able to customize according to the differentiated user demand. Is it possible? Yes, that's possible. When we use the technology. For example, CAD/CAM or the automated and fully networked manufacturing line. When we establish that the fully automated and the fully networked manufacturing line, we can produce as much as possible, as many as possible, and we can change the design, or we can change the product design according to customer demand. For example, do you know Adidas? Adidas, the German brand, Adidas. Adidas. If you go to the adidas.com, okay, probably you don't need to try. However, if you go to the adidas.com and then you can design yourself, you can choose design, you can choose your own design, okay, and then when you push and when you order that design, okay, and that is automatically going to the Berlin office, and then at the Berlin they can choose that where that kinds of product can be produced, and then within 24 hours, and the Adidas will produce the product according to your demand, and that they will send it to you within 2 weeks, within a week, around the world. Because that is totally automated, that's totally networked. And we call that is a smart factory system, or we call that is an industry 4.0, based on the technology. You don't need to try to find out your best design. You design yourself. You design your product by yourself. Is it possible? Well, absolutely, that's possible. We are living in that world. But however, unfortunately, in China, that is not possible. That is not possible because there are some of the issues. But how about outside of the China, or in Korea, or in Japan, or in the US? That's possible. And when we order something in Germany, and then the Germans produce that kinds of our own design, and they deliver that product within a week. Technology help us. And in order to achieve those kind of the mass customization strategy, and definitely we need MIS, advanced MIS, or the office automation as well. Okay, and absolutely we are now using a lot of big data, or the targeted marketing, or the social media, and then the data analysis, or the data analytics, business data analytics. That's the reason why we are concerning more about it, the business data analytics recently, in order to maximize the competitive advantage. Is it possible? We are making it. Okay, got it? Technology helps us to apply, to create and sustain the differentiation of competitive advantage and the cost leadership competitive advantage at the same time. Okay, good. And geography, also the global and the local expansion in the sales, global local outsourcing, global local production, global local, the supply chain management, or the customer relationship management. Whatever, MIS, whatever, okay. So geography can give us an advantage at the same time, differentiation advantage and the cost leadership advantage. And we may apply this kind of things, localization. And have you ever heard about this strategy? Globalization plus localization strategy. Stephanie, have you ever heard about these? Yeah. Evad, have you ever heard about? You must hear that. You must hear from me. Localization. Haley, global business. No. Globalization plus localization. Globalization plus localization. For example, what is a good example? KFC. KFC, for example, KFC in China. KFC in China. Okay, and do you know that the KFC provided the porridge menu in China for breakfast? Anybody try that in KFC? Have you ever went to the KFC in China? Yeah, that was my favorite place when I was in Chashan area. KFC. So when you go to the KFC in the morning, okay, and you can order the porridge. You can order the porridge, the very traditional, the very conventional porridge and youtiao. Porridge and youtiao, the bread, the fried bread. Youtiao. Youtiao. Okay. And can you imagine the American fast food shop, the KFC, provide youtiao and porridge. How we can explain that? We call that is a localization. Localization. The KFC is a global company. Globalization. Okay, and the KFC is now operating in China, right? And however, they localize their menu according to the Chinese demand, because that's a localization. We combine that. We combine those two. Then we can apply the localization strategy in order to maximize the competitive advantage. We improve that the differentiation competitive advantage, and we want to improve that the cost leadership advantage. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. And do you know that the KFC is flourishing in China? However, what's happening McDonald's in China? Which one is not surviving? Which one is more flourishing in Chinese market? KFC or the McDonald's? KFC or McDonald's? Why? Why that happens? Because KFC changed their strategy. According to the Chinese demand. But McDonald's don't change. So what's happening? KFC is flourishing while McDonald's is now dying. We are observing that kinds of things. Got it? So that's related with the geographical advantage. Okay, and geographical, can you remember the, okay, it's five element, Tao, Tian. Tao, Tian, third. What is third? Tao, Tian, third. Di. geographic advantage. Oh, white elephant. Okay, good. So then, yeah, the technology and the geography can give us a chance to maximize our competitive advantage. In order to achieve those kind of things, we need to combine that. We need to manage the paradox, mass production and customization. We need to achieve those at the same time by using the technology. And geographically, we need to play the global economy, and we need to localize at the same time. Is it easy? That's not easy. We may need to work twice more. That's our business problem solving. Okay, good. And the third one is a product life cycle, industry or the product life cycle approach. This is somewhat subtle. And then maybe I'd better to introduce shortly. And a long story short, and the industry or the product life cycle approach can give us a chance to maximize our competitive advantage according to the season. Okay, and introduction part, and the growth stage, and the mature stage, and the declining stage. However, according to these 4 different seasons, maybe we need to adjust our strategy accordingly. Okay, maybe you'd better to understand it like this. This is a product life cycle. For example, one product or service was introduced. For a while, nothing is happening, and then gradually, it gets more attention from the customers. Okay, and then that is quickly increasing in terms of the volume, in terms of the profit, and that is matured for a while. Then everybody will get that product or services. Thank you. And then that is declining. So we have 4 stages in terms of the product or the industry life cycle. Okay, we need to understand what is our stages in a specific market, for a certain specific the industry or the product. For example, what do you think the mobile phone industry? Mobile phone is emerging, or mobile phone is quickly growing, or mobile phone is now maturing, and mobile phone is now declining. What stage are you thinking the mobile phone is now existing? Holy, mobile phone industry is burgeoning, starting, or quickly growing, or maturing, or declining. Where are you? Holy. Dylan, where are you? I will torture you. Who is that one? Labine. Mobile phone industry. And what is the stage of the mobile phone industry? What do you think? Nobody? Hey, Haley, help me. Millie, help me. Mobile phone industry is in the introduction, or the growth, or the maturity, or the declining stage. Which one? What do you think? Growth, almost. Probably. But however, that's already passed, I think. That's already passed, because that we have enough number of the players. Okay, Apple, Samsung, LG, Huawei, Oppo, Vivo, Sony, Ericsson, and Android. we have tons of thousand mobile phone manufacturers. So actually that is not a growth. That must be the mature or the declining a little. Whatever, that's fully matured market. Mobile phone industry is a fully matured market. When we can define, okay, so we are now stage in the fully matured market. Maybe we can apply a few number of the strategy to survive and to flourish in the fully matured stages. For example, in the fully matured stage, what is the best strategy to survive and to grow? M&A. I buy unnecessarily the players. And Huawei need to buy a lot of the smaller size of the mobile phone manufacturers and kill them out. Really, that's the best way to make it profit. And because if you can define that is the fully matured market. So like this, if you can define the market or the industry according to your judgment, okay, you can exercise a differentiated strategy in order to maximize your competitive advantage. Okay, for example, when you define the mobile phone industry is a fully matured market in here, okay, that maybe we can think a few number of the options. Hey. Here, there is a differentiation over the cost leadership. So cost leadership is the best strategy probably, and low to the moderate and many numbers of the segment we need to cultivate and a very intensive library, and the low to moderate of the emphasis on the product design. Okay, and the price will tell. And the emphasis on the process design, absolutely we need to improve that operational excellence, operational efficiency. That's the game. And the production-oriented approach is necessary. Okay, and then defend the market share and extend the product life cycle. That's our strategy. When we define the mobile phone industry is in here, fully matured market, then we can adjust and we can bring a better strategy in order to maximize our profit in here. Okay, so then definitely we need to read time. We need to read time. Okay, good. However, yeah, anybody will curious about, okay, yeah, if the industry is fully declining in this stage, can we make a business? Yes, we can make a business. For example, here is an example. We call that is a long tail strategy, long tail strategy. And is there anybody who used the fax recently? Anybody use the fax nowadays? Anybody use the facsimile? No, because we have an email and we have a WeChat. Okay, so we communicate throughout the email, WeChat, and many other the social network services or the electronic something. But do you know that the facsimile machine is now sold around 37 million devices every year? There is a niche market. We call that a niche market. Niche market in a long tail. Even though that the product demand is totally declined, but however, there is a certain amount of the niche. So what will happen if we monopolize the niche market? What if I am the only one producer of those facsimile machine? We can make a lot of money because that's monopoly. That is now happening, really. Because that the facsimile is the only one official way to get official document in the world, especially for the government office and the government. Government offices accept only the papers or the documents throughout the facsimile. no email, no WeChat. It's necessary. So if we can think strategically, okay, maybe we can try to find out the monopolize a certain specific market, certain niche market. Then we can maximize our profit throughout our competitive advantage of the differentiation and the cost leadership. Really? So don't underestimate the old guys. Don't underestimate the old guys. Please. They can make more profit than any other young guys. Facsimile? Absolutely. It depends on the transformation. It depends on the monopolization strategy. Okay, good. And we call that is a long tail strategy. Long tail. It does not die. A certain product never dies, and that has a long tail. That has a long tail. And what is another good example? No, sewing machine. Have you ever used that sewing machine at your home? Sewing machine. Sewing machine. No. And how about what if that? Okay, so do you believe that the sewing machine company it can survive? For family sewing machine. Family sewing machine? That was quite popular many years ago. And how about now? Though, if we produce that the family sewing machine, can we survive? Yes, because there is a long tail. Exactly. And handmade or the customization, that's becoming one of the very noble hobby for anybody. So then, absolutely, they looking for the best quality of the sewing machine to exercise their hobby. And interior. So then there are many demand. There are many global demand of the sewing machine, and what if we can monopolize that niche market? Absolutely, we can maximize our profit. So please be smart enough to understand what we are playing in a more strategy way. Okay? Based on the product life cycle. Even in here, no, that is long tail. That may have a long tail. Okay, good. That's another strategy to maximize our competitive advantage. Okay, that is that. And then we reviewed that the source of the cost leadership and the source of the differentiation and the product life cycle, and then the maximizing this kind of the combination strategy to maximize that the competitive advantage. Okay, and I would like to introduce a few number of the practical strategies when you need to formulate the strategy, business strategy. Give me a second. Yep. Ew. Yep. Oh. Yeah, competitive strategy, whatever. Okay, so I'd like to introduce a few number of the practical strategies, which I love that. And there are a few number of the there are two types of the competitive advantage strategy. That's a cost advantage and the differentiation advantage. That's clear. Okay, and then there is a competition. Maybe we can change our perceptions about the competition in a more strategic way. Strategic competition. Okay, so do you believe that the competition is bad? a rival? Do you hate the rival? Is it good or is it bad? Once it's good, that's quite stressful. If you have a very strong competitor, if you have a very strong rival, it's quite stressful. No matter what, it's good or bad. At least that's stressful. Okay. However, we need to transform our thinking about it, competition, our thinking about it, transform the competition to the competency. If we can think a strategy. Okay, strategy competition, we define that. And understand the competitive behavior as a system in which the competitors, customers, money, and people and the resources continually interact. Absolutely, there is a big interactions between between me and our competitors. And using this understanding to predict how a given strategy move will rebalance that the competitive equilibrium. We always try to make it better, and then competitors will compete us better. And deploying the community and the resources in the deliberate ways to make the sweeping the change in the competitive relationship. A long story short, we definitely need a competition in order to make us better. In order to make us more competent. Okay, change our perception. Let's see. Okay, and then I'd better to introduce a few number of the competition strategy. And one of the most popular competition strategy is this. Philip Kotler's attacker's options. Okay. And is there any students who majored the marketing? Who's a marketing major? And who is the father of marketing? Who made the marketing field? Marketing. Anybody? No marketing? No marketing. Haley, no marketing, finance. Olivia marketing? No. Millie, no marketing. Millie, yeah. Yeah, accounting. Who is marketing? Jerry? Exactly. Wise, exactly. Philip Kotler. Yeah, here. Yeah, Philip Kotler. Kotler is the father of the marketing, and he introduced that the attackers strategic options like this in order to win at the competition. Exactly. Father of the marketing is a Philip Kotler, and Philip Kotler introduced this attackers options. Okay, this is attackers options. This is a strategy. This is a strategic options, and in order to win this competitor, okay, we may apply a few number of the strategic options. Okay, if we are totally prevailing, if we have more than 10 times of the money, time, and the people, we don't need to worry about it and just to go forward and crash them out. That's a frontal attack. However, if we do not have at least more than the 10 times of the money, time, or the people, we may need to encircle of that. That we call that is an encirclement attack. Okay, good. And however, if we do not have strong enough the machines or the weapons, arms, or the people, maybe we'd better to attack side. Frank attack. Or if we cannot compete with our dependents because we are much weaker than our competitor, maybe we'd better to fight like a guerrilla. like guerrilla. Or if we cannot win over the competitor, I'm sure, then we just run away, bypass. Okay? Are you familiar with this? This strategy? Are you familiar with these strategies? You must be familiar with this. Because all of these strategies, attackers' options, come from the art of war. What is the name of the art of war in China? This. Sun Tzu Bing Ba. Philip Kotler, the father of the marketing, he used this kind of the attackers options that come from the Sun Tzu Bing Ba. Strategy. And by nature, you have that kinds of the strategic mind in your blood, aren't you? Don't you? Okay, so this is one of the typical strategy tools in order to maximize our competitive advantage. Okay. That's a Philip Kotler's attackers option, and however, that's exactly come from the Sun Tzu Bing Ba. Okay, and there are a few number of the different things, and the signals of the leader vulnerability, and the leader vulnerability means that okay, there must be a market leader. For example, now who is leading the market of the mobile phone leader, the market leader. Who are the market leaders in the mobile phone industry? Apple, probably. Let's think about it. What's going on with the Apple? Okay, and the leader vulnerability and the leader characteristics. The Apple may have a Apple is now dominating a mobile industry, but however, gradually people are complaining about the Apple iPhones. It's too expensive, and there is no innovation. That's too large, that's too small, and there is no very new features. I need more better camera. Okay, the people are getting unhappy here. And the stuck in the middle, and the pioneer of the current technologies, not anymore. And very high profitability. Apple made the best money in the mobile phone industry. And histories of the antitrust regulation, whatever. Okay, weak performer in the parent company, whatever. Okay, and there is a mobile phone industry characteristic, discontinuous technology changes, and many competitors are coming with a totally new technology, and the shifting buyer need, and many times, and continually the people looks for another level of the technical options. The fleet mobile phone, and the emergence of the new channels. Okay, and the Xiaomi is now selling their mobile phones mainly in the social media, and the shifting the input cost and the gentleman's game, whatever. So no matter what, even though you are now you are the strongest competitor. Okay, you are the strongest market dominant. Okay, market leader. Okay, if you start learning and changing, okay, you are in the risk quickly, really. So market leaders are always vulnerable. They are always vulnerable. So that is a good sign for the follower or the competitor. Now I cannot compete with Apple, but how about soon I can win over the Apple if I can make a better strategic options. Really, who knows? And then around 5 years later, Huawei can be the largest mobile phone producer. Why not? And then someday, Xiaomi can be the largest one. Every day, that's changing. And there are a lot of so we are talking about the attacker's choice, attacker's choice. But as a defender, maybe we have this kind of defensive tactics and strategy. These are examples. Raise the structural barrier like a field the product line gap and block the channel access and raise the buyer switching cost and defensively increase the scale of the economies of scale and the forecast and foreclose that the alternative technology. Exercise your competitive advantage in order to block the other competitors and increase that the expected retaliation and the signal the commitment to the defend and match the competitors' terms of the guarantee. Establish the block of the position in other industries and establish a defensive coalitions. Make a friendship. And lower the inducement that for attack and reduce the price and the profit target and the influence that the competitors' assumption about at the industrial future prospect. Whatever. Why we need to become a market leader? Because that the market leader can dominate the market. That means we can do whatever we want to in the market. We manipulate the market and in order to protect ourselves. That's the defensive tactics we can use when you become a leader, when you become a market leader. That's a strategy. Okay, good. And there is a judo tactics, judo strategy. Judo strategy is okay. So there is a very strong, strong market player, and I am relatively small. There is a strong market player, and I'm relatively small. And that I do not have any chance. I do not have any chance to win. No. We can win. Even though we are small and we are tiny, but we can win over the large competitors by using the judo tactics, judo strategy. Okay? What is a judo strategy? Judo user speed. If we can move forward, if we can move fast, quickly, maybe we can win our competitor because they are big enough and they are relatively slow. And flexibility, absolutely, we need to make a mass customization. Okay? And then there is a leverage, and maybe even though I am small, but if I can use another advantages, maybe I can win over my biggest and the stronger players by using the leverage. Maybe I can use another guy and to make a diplomatic options. Maybe I can win our biggest competitor. So judo strategy we can exercise in order to maximize our competitive advantage. Judo strategy we call. And there is a co-opetition. Co-opetition means cooperation in creating value as well as competition in the dividing values. We improve our value creation throughout the cooperation and competition. Samsung is providing their camera module to the Apple and Huawei. And Huawei buy camera module from Samsung. However, the Huawei, Samsung, and the Apple, they are competitors. What are they doing? And they buy Samsung camera module, and then they buy the oscillating the modules from the Huawei, and then they are using the patented controller from the Apple in order to maximize their competitive advantage to each other. That's a competition plus cooperation. We call that a co-opetition. Co-opetition strategy. There is no eternal enemy. There is no eternal friend in the business market. You have to compete and cooperate at the same time. You don't have to blow the other guy's light out to let your own shit. Really? So don't blame somebody. Don't make eternal friendship. Negotiate. Negotiate. Open to talk. Anything is possible. Please, in order to solve our business problems. There is no enemy, there is no friend. Okay, that's a competition strategy. Okay, and there is the advantage of having a good competitors, and there is a frame of the value net, and the value net is a customer, company, supplier, competitors, and complementers, whatever. This is a value net frames. You can use that. However, that's normal. And there is a very popular the PARTS framework in order to make a competitive advantage. Players, added value, rules, tactics, scope, and maybe you can understand that as a 5 element. I said 5 elements in the Sunjubingpa, 5 elements. Okay, 5 elements. That is enough for you. That is enough for you. Rule, pa, added value. There's a benefit of the earth, and the tactics. There's a chang, or the scope is something, and the players absolutely there is a people. Okay, good. And yeah, beside of this kind of the very different kind of the strategy, the business strategy, the frameworks. Okay, whatever. So just to think about it. Only 2 things in the practice. In practice, think about cost leadership and or differentiation in practice. In order to formulate, in order to achieve this kind of the competitive advantage, you can formulate any kinds of the business strategy. Bring more idea, bring the best idea to create the cost leadership and or differentiation. That's all. You can use any kinds of tools. Use any kinds of tools. And then maybe you can find tons of thousand tools. Anything is fine. But however, keep in mind, what is the purpose of using that kinds of strategy? Cost leadership or differentiation. The best way is at the same time we achieve that. Got it? Yeah, that's a lot of we need a lot of exercise. We need a lot of insight, not a knowledge. Data, knowledge. You need experience. You need insight. You need to work hard. You need to cry. However, please keep in mind, never ever forget the purpose of applying those kind of the tools. Okay, good. I think that is all of the formulating the strategy. And then, yeah, if there is any better chance, maybe I'd better to introduce many key business strategy tools. But yeah, that's all we have now. Okay, good. So far, any question? So far, any question? And so far, so good. No question, Olivia, thank you. And okay, so as we said, no DQ, just to be happy. And please write down your assignment. Okay, and maybe I will focus more on the evaluating your assignment. That means I will be more picky. Yeah, I will be nice, but however, I will be more. I need to be more picky. Anyway, So that is it. And can I see you next Monday? And we have only 2 more weeks. Only two more weeks. Time flies. No this week and no anymore. No DQ anymore. No DQ anymore. That's our choice. That's fine. Maybe so school can kill me. Yeah, I will be dead. You are okay. Okay?